Hey folks, Bill Armstrong here. In this screencast, I'm going to run you through all the important features here at My Math Lab, where all the course content is. The first thing I'm going to point out, they call this the course homepage, and I'm in instructor mode. So there's going to be some stuff over here in the left-hand frame that you're seeing in this screencast right now that you will not see when you log in. Don't worry about that. So first things first, let's look over here at the left-hand frame. And the first thing I'm going to go to is the Course Information tab. So let me click on that. And in here I have 6 documents. They're PDFs, and we'll look at a couple of them. The first one is the course syllabus. And there's something important noted here in the course syllabus. The academic calendar, the online orientation, the protocol for sending email, and a list of all the end of section exercises you should do to master the concepts. And then the last document is answers to the end of section exercises. So let's kind of run through the course syllabus quickly. This is something I'm asking you to print out and have a hard copy on hand. Something that I would pass out if it were a traditional class. The first day of class, you always receive a syllabus. So print this out and have a hard copy on hand. My name's Bill Armstrong. There's my email address. Please note my email address. Another reason to print this out and have a hard copy. If you send me an email, I will reply to it, and I reply to emails very quickly. But if you send an email to the wrong email address, I'm obviously not going to get it, and then I can't reply to it. So please make sure you are using the correct email address. My office is located at B3056. There's my office telephone number, and these are all my office hours that I have each week. Stop by anytime. There's the prerequisite for the class. You need the My Math Lab access code. Well, you obviously have it because you're here. Should have a graphing calculator. Let's talk about the grading for the class. Okay, your grade's going to be based on a total of 600 possible points. The only items that are going to determine your final grade that are worth points will be the tests and the online quizzes. So let's talk about the tests first. There will be a total of 3 tests, 120 points each during the semester. Tests have to be taken in a proctored environment. That's per the math department policy at Lakeland. Most people opt to take the tests in the testing center at Lakeland. Tests can be completed on any day the testing center is open, up to and including the deadline dates. And all deadline dates will be shown on the academic calendar, which we will look at here in a little bit. Test questions are free response style, much like what you'll see in the homework. So for each test, here's the test coverage. So you can see test 1 covers the assigned sections from weeks 1 through 3, which will correspond to sections 1.9, 2.1 through 2.4, and sections 3.1 through 3.4. And so you see there are 3 tests, and there is also a final exam. So this table 1 just shows you the section coverage for each test and the final exam. Some brief notes on the tests. When you show up to take a test, you have to have a photo ID. They check it there at the test center. And please take your test in pencil, and you're allowed to use a graphing calculator. So make sure that you bring a graphing calculator with you to take a test. Notes, textbooks, formula cards, cheat sheets, etc. Those are all prohibited during the tests. Well, let's see, number 5 here. Deadline dates for each test will be shown on the academic calendar. And I also will mention it in the weekly announcements. Weekly announcements will be another area that we will go over here in a minute. There's the test center hours. Basically, the test center is open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and they're closed on Sundays. I'll let you go ahead and on your own and read through testing policies. that's something, print out, have a hard copy. You can read through it at any time. Online quizzes. There will be weekly online quizzes, and they are completed online at the My Math Lab site. These quizzes are in the online quiz area, which we will look at here in a moment. There's going to be 120 points possible for all of the online quizzes. Some quick notes on the online quizzes. The deadline date for each online quiz is going to be on a Sunday. We'll see that on the academic calendar. Each online quiz must be completed in one session. So if you say you're taking a quiz, you're going to take it on a Friday, and you start it, and it's your first attempt on a Friday to take the quiz. Once you start an attempt, you must complete it in one session. You can't start it and then stop and come back to it. So once you start it, you must complete it in one session. There's no time limit on how long you have for an online quiz. And I have it set up that each online quiz can be repeated up to 3 times maximum. So, you take it on Friday and you score an 8 out of 10. See what you missed, study it, take online quiz again on Saturday. That would be your second attempt. Say you get a 9 out of 10. Study what you missed, and then Sunday you could take it the third and final time and hopefully get a 10 out of 10. Then the final item is the final exam. It's worth 120 points, and that will conclude the course. So there's the point distribution of the 600 points total. 3 tests at 120 points each, 12 online quizzes at 10 points each, and the final exam is 120 points. So that gives you 600 points total, shown here in Table 2. Here's the grading scale that I will use to determine your final grade. It's listed here in Table 3. I'll let you read on your own about assigning course grades, academic misconduct, some general course tips. Again, quizzes and tests and the final. That's the only thing that will determine directly your final grade. Those end of section homework exercises that you should practice, they're not collected. But in order to do well on the online quizzes, which do count towards your final grade, you should do the homework. The homework prepares you for the online quizzes. The online quizzes prepare you for the tests. It's a pretty simple process there. So, doing the homework is probably going to be the single most vital element for your success in the course. I also believe you should keep up with the assigned sections and the exercises. Don't let it build up. Don't wait until Saturday to try to do everything for the week. Do something every day. If you have, a question, don't hesitate to come by my office or send me an email. Again, there's my email address. Send it to the correct email. Before sending an email, please make sure you read the protocol for sending email. We'll go over that here in a moment. Keep in mind it's a self-directed course. If you don't have the time, proficiency, or inclination to learn material using a self-motivated style, the traditional in-class course may be better suited for you. Okay, how to learn the course material. I've been doing online classes now for over 10 years, and I've kind of come up with this 4-step cycle of learning. So you will begin each section. So step 1 is you begin each section by logging into the My Math Lab site. Go to the chapter and section, read the EText for the assigned section. And while you're reading the EText, there will be links to helpful videos and animations that are done by the author of the EText. His name's Kirk Trigstead. So if you want, you can watch these animations and videos that will help you to get ready for the practice and homework exercises. For many sections, I will supply a link to a YouTube video I have made highlighting material in that particular section. And I might do a few more examples. So for many sections, and it's on a section-by-section basis, I will supply a supplemental video that I've made. Now, when you're reading an assigned section of the eText, after examples, you will find these things that are called You Try It practice problems. When these You Try It exercises are present, they're meant for you to practice the ideas that were just presented in the reading and the example. Again, none of the exercises count directly for a grade, but these you try it exercises are somewhat matched with some of the assigned end of section practice exercises. So they're kind of a good thing to do. Step 3 in my 4-step cycle of learning is do the practice exercises at the end of each section. Again, they do not count for a grade directly, but they will reinforce ideas presented in the section, and they will help prepare you for quizzes and tests. And then after you've completed the sections for a week, you are then ready to go to the online quiz area and do your first attempt on the weekly quiz. And quizzes do count for a grade. And acknowledgement of the syllabus statement. I don't know what more I could say about this. And I'll let you read that on your own. But that's it for the course syllabus. So let me close it. Like I said, it's a PDF. Come over here, print it out, have a hard copy on hand. So print out the course syllabus. It's found in the course information area. The next item we're going to look at is the academic calendar. So let me click on that. And again, this too is a PDF. Print this out and have a hard copy on hand. This shows all important dates. So for example, you see on here, week 1, those are the 4 sections covered in week 1. It shows the deadline for quiz 1 is Sunday, September 1st. That's the deadline to complete quiz 1. So etc. Week 2 shows you the section coverage and the deadline for quiz 2. Notice the deadline to complete test 1 is Saturday, September 21st. The deadline for test 2 is Saturday, October 19th. The deadline for test 3 is Saturday, November 16th. And the deadline for the final exam is Wednesday, December 11th. So print this out, have a hard copy on hand so you will always know when deadlines are. I've also listed on here for each quiz what sections are covered on each quiz, and each test what sections are covered on each test. And we saw this information already in the syllabus. But again, print this out, have a hard copy on hand. That's the academic calendar. So let me close that. The next item in the course information tab is the online orientation. So let me open that. And straight away I say some documents to have in hand. That means to print out. Print out and have on hand the course syllabus, the academic calendar, the homework to practice exercises, and the protocol for sending email. Up-to-date class information will be posted weekly. I post it every Sunday morning in the announcements area. We'll look at that in a minute. In these weekly announcements, I will be redundant, and then I'm going to remind you of weekly section coverage, homework listings, reminders of any due dates, and I'm also going to, when available, when I've made those section by section YouTube videos that I talked about a little bit ago, I will have the links to those YouTube videos in the weekly announcements. How to get help? Well, first off, either come by my office during office hours or send me an email. Again, here is my email address. You can go to the Math in Minutes table in the Learning Center. You could get a tutor, sign up for a weekly tutor at no cost, again at the Learning Center. When you take the tests, you have 3 tests in the final exam that must be taken in a proctored environment, the testing center at Lakeland. Again, all those dates are in the course syllabus and the academic calendar. What I will provide for you to get ready for a test. So during the week of any test or final exam, I will provide for you a study guide and a practice test to help you get ready for the test. And I say the best way to prepare for tests is to complete the practice exercises for each section. Here's a reminder on online quizzes. You have a total of 12. Each of them is worth 10 points. You have a maximum of 3 attempts for each quiz. And then once you begin a quiz, once you begin an attempt, you must complete it in its entirety. So that's your online orientation. The next item in the course information tab will be the protocol for sending email. So the protocol for sending email, notice the first thing I mention is my email address. I've mentioned this now 4 times, and the reason why is I continue to have students that do not use the correct email address. So please use the correct email address. I'm going to ask you when you send me an email to use your Lakeland email account. When you use your Lakeland email account, when I look at my inbox, I can quickly identify that I've received an email from a student. If you use a personal email account, say your personal email account is sleekdime@gmail.com, it may not jump out at me as being from one of my Lakeland students. So please try to use your Lakeland email account. I ask you to try to identify yourself at the very beginning of the email. So, something along the lines of what I have here, quote, I'm June Johnson, and I'm a student in your Math 1650 College Algebra Online course. That really helps save me some time. Number 4, I say allow time for a reply. I will respond to email each day. So you will receive a response within 24 hours. It's usually quicker than that. Now, if you do send a message late at night or on a weekend, you may not get that immediate response, but you will get one on the next day at the latest. So sending multiple repeated messages, it doesn't help. When I see your email, I will reply to it. You can read through 5 and 6. 7, state your question as clearly and completely as possible. So if it's a specific homework problem, identify it. So then I can look at it and try to help you. And it really, number 8 here, it's been a challenge for over 25 years how to communicate mathematics on the internet, particularly in email. But we'll figure it out. We seem to do a pretty good job and using, what we have available to communicate what the issues are. And that's pretty much it for the protocol for sending email. I would suggest you print this out and have a hard copy on hand for the protocol for sending email. Okay, next up in the course information tab that you should print out and have a hard copy of is the list of all those exercises, the end of section exercises. So you notice, section 2.3, for example, the exercises start on eScreen 2.3-28, and I'm saying you should do 1 through 31 odd and number 32. So print this out and have a hard copy on hand. The final item in the course information tab is answers to the homework problems. Now, I'm not saying you should print this out, because let me open it up. It's a pretty big PDF. It's 52 pages. If I were a student and I'm in this course, when I go to do the homework, I would open this up and have it open in its own tab like it is right now, so that when I'm doing the homework, I could just click over to the tab to see if my answers are correct. And you'll notice it has answers for every exercise, not just the odds. So that's everything in the course information tab. So again, the course syllabus, print it out, have a hard copy. I don't know what more I could say about that. The academic calendar, print that out and have a hard copy on hand. Your online orientation, protocol for sending email, you should print that out and have a hard copy on hand. The list of homework to practice exercises, something else that you should print out and have a hard copy on hand. And the answers to the exercises. So let's come over here to the left frame again, and well, let's look at the announcement area. So let me click on announcements. This is where I will put the weekly announcements. And right now I have the week 1 announcements. Don't worry, you might not see this because I don't have anything there yet. So let's look at the week 1 announcements. So you log on, you come to the announcements area, you click on the week 1 announcements, and if you wanted to, I have these set up as a PDF as well. If you wanted to, you could print them out, but there's no need to. So I start the week 1 announcements off with a redundant welcome, reminding you in the course information tab, some items to print out and have a hard copy of. And, this mentions something else about the syllabus that's important. Let me scroll down a little. But this is how most of the weekly announcements will begin. I identify the week and I define what the week is. So week 1 I define as going from Monday, August 26th to Sunday, September 1st. Okay, and I start off by saying that I've created a preview video. Well, it looks like for each of the sections. And it says, I strongly suggest you watch in full screen mode and make sure you're in HD mode. Right-click on the link and open in a new tab. So let me do that. I'm going to right-click on this link. So this is the video that I've made for you to supplement section 1.9. So let me right-click and open it in a new tab. And okay, I am in HD. And like I said, if you want, you can go to full screen mode.
Hey, folks, we're going to look at how to solve some polynomial inequalities and rational inequalities.
That's enough. That's enough of me. But that's what my supplemental videos will look like. I remind you in the week 1 announcements and every weekly announcement what sections are covered. And I remind you of the end of section exercises you should do and on what EText screen they begin. So this is redundant information. So, I'm repeating myself to help you. Due dates, notes. So the end of the weekly announcement, I'm saying online quiz 1 is available in the online quiz area. Each quiz can be repeated 3 times. But once the quiz is started, it must be completed. There's no time limit to complete each quiz once you begin to take it. And then your solutions can be submitted anytime before the deadline, which is Sunday, September 1st at 11:55 p.m. So that's what a typical weekly announcement looks like. So let me come back to the main menu. I'm going to save the EText for last. Online quizzes. I've mentioned online quizzes, so let's take a look at online quizzes. This is where you will find all of your online quizzes. I have all 12 of them ready to go. So this is where you would come to do an online quiz. Notice over here in the first column, it shows you again what the deadline dates are. So when you're ready to do an online quiz, you just come here and just click on online quiz. So I'm clicking on online quiz 1. And it's saying, oh, you need a password. So you're gonna need to find the password. I think I've identified several times where to find the password. What else could I show you over here? Oh, the grade book. Once you do a quiz, it will record your score in the grade book. I haven't done a quiz yet, so I don't have a score here. And it will show your, you can have it so that it will show your grade as a percentage. Once you take a test and I grade it, I will record it here in the grade book. So you will always see, you will always know where you stand in the course. It's easy for you to know what your grade is. Look at the grade book. You know what, let's look at, I mentioned this earlier, that the week before a test, the deadline of a test, I'm going to have a preparation tab for you. So let's look at what I will show you, what I will provide for you to get ready for each test. I already have the test 1 preparation tab populated and open for you. So in this one I have 4 items. I have a study guide, I have a practice test. I have practice test answers to most items on the practice test, and a solution to some of the items on the practice test. So let's look first at the study guide. So the study guide, I'm saying, hey, for these sections, the exercises that begin on these respective EText screens, these are the exercises you should really know how to do. So this is a good place to start to get ready for a test. Make sure that you do all of these exercises. Okay, then take the practice test. Print it out and treat it as if it's the real test. Take it. And don't look at notes or anything. Those items that you don't really get right away, that will tell you what you need to study to get ready for the test. So you could print it out and take it. And it will give you a very fair idea of what the test will look like. And then here's a PDF where I have answers to some of the items from the practice test. I don't have an answer for number 5, but I have an answer for most of the items on the practice test. The practice test is meant to give you a really good idea of what the test will look like. And then solutions. This is a YouTube video I've made showing solutions to the practice test. So, if you click on it,
Hey folks, thought I'd work through most of the items on practice test 1. And the first one that...
if for number 1 on, say, practice test 1, if you had the correct answer, so you did it, you have the correct answer, you probably don't need to watch this part of the video. But if you didn't have the correct answer, you might want to watch this part of the video. So that's what I will supply to get you prepared, to help you get prepared for each test. So let's see. Let me come back to the home page. We've gone over announcements, everything that's important in the course information tab, where to find your online quizzes, how you can check the grade book and you will always know what your current grade to date is, items to get you ready for tests. Let's take a look at the EText. So, I click on the EText. It's going to open it in a new tab. This may take a little bit. All right, so I need to find, where my chapters are. Okay, it's under the menu. So, here's your menu. So you click on the menu and it opens up. You can see each chapter. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open chapter 2. And I'm going to come into section 2.1 to show you some of the features of the EText. All right, so here's like the first page. I'm going to quickly skip through it. This is how I can navigate forwards and backwards. Those are the objectives. And so, this is just like a regular textbook. You could read that. Good reading. Good reading. There was something back here I wanted to show you. An animation. So, I mentioned this earlier. They have videos and animations here in the EText. So if I click on this, and see, I come down here and I click
play. The rectangular
play.
coordinate system, also known as the Cartesian coordinate system, in honor of its inventor René Descartes, consists of 2 perpendicular real number lines. The 2 number lines are called the coordinate axes. The horizontal axis is called the x-axis.
Okay, I'm going to pause it. That gives you an idea of what, one of their animations would look like, but it's to, help you as you go through the material. And then, here's where I will close the animation. And let's see. Okay, here's example 1, plotting ordered pairs. So you could read through the example. Also, if you wanted to, you could watch a video on plotting ordered pairs. So if I come down here and start it.
Let's plot some ordered pairs.
That dude's the author of the book.
Let's plot the ordered pairs, -2, 3, 0, 4, 2, 5, and 4, 6.
So it's just he's gonna plot those ordered pairs. So, let me close that. So you read it and you see how it's done, and if you need extra help, watch the video. All right. So example 2, graph an equation by plotting points. It looks like there would be a video here to help if you need it. So you could watch the video, you could read, you could see the graph. Hey, here's some of those you try it's I was telling you about. So if I click on this, it's going to say, okay, graph this equation by plotting the points. Complete the ordered pairs in the table. And I'm going to point this out because this is really important when you do the online quizzes. You have to follow the directions exactly. Sometimes you're going to think you had the correct answer and it was marked incorrect, but you didn't follow the directions exactly. It's like if they say make sure your answer, if it's a fraction, is reduced to lowest terms, and you have the fraction 13 over 26 as your answer, it will be marked wrong because 13 over 26 reduces to 1/2. So here it says type ordered pairs. So it's saying x is 0, type the ordered pair. Well, if 0 comes in here for x, y would be -1. But if you come in here and you just do 0, -1 without putting it in parentheses as an ordered pair, it will be marked wrong. Also note down here, this is how you'd make a fraction, exponents. There's absolute value. Here's how you do square root, nth root. Here's how you could just click on this for ordered pair. So, I'm in here. I could click, and then I could do 0. Oh, no, here it's 1, and then tab over. What is that? -4, and then might not like that. Whoops. There, it would like that. So let me go ahead and just fill this in. Now this time I'm going to put a parenthesis 2, comma, and -5 parenthesis. And then here, oh boy, let me use this again. 3, and let's see, 9 minus 12. What's that? -4. Okay, now I'm going to check the answers, and it should tell me it doesn't like this first one. At least one of your answers is incorrect. And I'm going to say, okay. And look, it says, be sure you've entered ordered pairs for all answers. So now I'm going to come back up here, and let me put it in parentheses. So I didn't follow the directions exactly. So just be aware of that. I wanted to point that out to you to help you when you're doing quizzes. All right, I'm gonna close this. You try it. Just wanted to show you what one looked like. Let's see. Okay, another example that has a video and some more. You try it. So this looks just like a textbook. Here, this is a video that's a little more interactive. Let me go ahead and click on it.
Find the x and y intercepts of the graphs of the given equations. Choose one of the 3 equations. You can choose equation A, which is y.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. It lets you choose which one that you want to see. So that's what makes that one, somewhat interactive. So let me come here and close it. And the next thing I'm going to say is, I know the exercises start on 2.1-29. So I could come up here and I could just do that to immediately get to the exercises. And this is where the exercises begin. So that's a quick overview of the EText. So let me come back to our main page. So course home. See, I've shown you the announcements. This is where I'll post the weekly announcements early on Sundays. Course information. It's got items in here you need to print out and have a hard copy of. Something important in the course syllabus. Here's where you will find your online quizzes. Gradebook. That's where you can go to always see your standing in the class. And test preparation tabs. So one more time, the only thing that counts towards your grade and the only thing that you need to focus on will be the quizzes and tests. Do the homework. The homework doesn't count for a grade. The end of section homework prepares you for the quizzes, which in turn prepares you for the tests. So anything else that you may see here, like reading assignments, you don't have to worry about doing that stuff. I've kind of shown you what you need to do to be successful in the class, and a lot of that is just going to be keeping up with the work. So that's it. That's a quick overview of everything you need to know to get started here at my math lab. Again, any questions that you run into mathematically, don't hesitate to send me an email or stop by my office. Thanks for watching.